And welcome to Fox News Primetime. I'm Katie Pavlich, and tonight we start with our democracy. For the past few months, the left has been sounding the alarm that American democracy is dying.
I do think that we are facing a crisis of democracy.
The demise of democracy. It's happening before our eyes.
They reward those, the Republicans essentially, not all, but most Republicans with power, which puts us one step closer to basically ending this democracy.
The left loves to accuse Republicans of damaging our rule of law, but they couldn't be more wrong. In reality, it's the Democrats who see democracy as a pesky roadblock in the way of their radical socialist agenda. Just ask Kamala Harris, who said the quiet part out loud this weekend.
What do you see as the biggest national security challenge confronting the U.S.? What is the thing that worries you and keeps you up at night?
Frankly, one of them is our democracy.
The Biden-Harris administration has routinely shown they don't care about your freedoms as they push their unconstitutional vaccine mandates, but now they're admitting they just don't care about your democracy either. The Democrats are hell-bent on federalizing our elections and will let nothing stand in their way, including our current laws. The vice president spent the weekend trying to guilt the American people into following her lead, saying our standing in the world is being threatened.
People around the world watch what we do as America, and right now we're about to take ourselves off the map as a role model. If we let people destroy one of the most important pillars of a democracy, which is free and fair election.
But here's the irony of all of this. In the Democrats' Don Quixote-like effort to protect the fictional assault on voting rights and save democracy from a non-existent threat, they're willing to burn down our actual democratic rules to the ground.
Many of your supporters believe in order to protect democracy in this country, you've got to protect voters' rights. Are you prepared to support fundamental changes in the Senate rules to get this done?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means whatever it takes. Change the Senate rules to accommodate major pieces of legislation without requiring 60 votes.
So you support a carve-out of the filibuster for voting rights?
The only thing standing between getting voting rights legislation passed and not getting passed is the filibuster. I support making an exception on voting rights for the filibuster.
Because that's what the Democrats really want, to end the filibuster. This would allow them to jam their entire radical agenda through the Senate. The Democrats say they stand for democracy until it gets in their way, and then they want to destroy it. Just look at progressive Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, who couldn't take Joe Manchin's no for an answer on Build Back Better. Instead, she is now calling on Joe Biden to override Senate procedure and pass parts of the bill through executive action. But it's obvious the American people are not a fan of executive overreach. Maybe this is why Joe Biden's approval ratings are crumbling, as recent polls have shown more than half of the country disapprove of his leadership. And it's not just the White House feeling the heat. As a red wave could be set to hit Congress in the 2022 midterms, with data showing more Americans prefer generic Republican candidates over the Democrats, these polls show what we already know, that the American people are fed up with big government, that they've had enough of far-left policies being shoved down their throats. But don't kid yourself, the war on democracy is real. It's just that the attacks are coming from the left.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.